Welcome to another episode of And Now I Know. I'm your host, 32 Flavazz, and I'm here to inspire you to live life at your fullest potential. If you're looking for a podcast that's going to inspire you to chase your dreams, motivate you to get up each day, and help you navigate life just a little bit better, be sure to hit that subscribe button if you're watching on YouTube, and if you're tuned in on any other streaming platform, be sure to hit that follow button. Now, today is a very special day because we have our very first guest. Okay, let me give him the proper introduction, y'all. If you're in St. Louis, you probably know him as Mr. Grease King Kong. He's a father, autism advocate, songwriter for mainstream artists. He's an artist himself, right? He's a member of the Emerging 100 Black Men. He's the host of the STL Griffins professional basketball team. And I'm sure you got a list of things that you do on the side too. So I'm happy to have you, Grease. How you feeling?
Feeling good, man. Happy to be here. Thank you for having me.
Yes, I'm super excited, y'all. I just got to say that the reason why I wanted you as my first guest is because during our audition process, you had an energy that radiated just from you that was so positive. You seemed genuine, and I got a great sense of discernment, so I feel like I can read people pretty well. And when you came into the room, you were just cool, you know.
Yeah.
It just gave the people's people, like for the people energy. I don't know. Yeah. So I just want to kick off the episode first by I want you to tell the audience a little bit about yourself and how you became the Grease King Kong.
I ain't got no problem doing that, but first I just want to say again, thank you for having me. This is amazing.
Yeah.
Everything that you're doing is amazing. And I also want to say happy birthday to my daughter Aspen. Today her birthday.
Happy birthday, Aspen.
So I just want to throw that out there. Daddy love you, baby. But how did I become Grease? Man, I'm going to say through the fire, through everything growing up, I had so many elders in my life that really like kind of helped me along the way. And funny story exclusively for you, I got my name because I used to work at a Walmart where they had a radio grill in there, and I was the manager over the restaurant.
Okay.
And this was back when me and the boys, they had no whip yet. It was just one person and he had a van. So it was like we all get off work, we all pack in the van and go.
Yeah.
And I would always smell like grease because I had to clean everything at the end of the night. So we was riding home one night and they was like, man, you stink. You always smelling like grease. And I was like, you know what? I like that name.
Yeah, that's hilarious because I never would have thought that. What about the King Kong part? Where'd that come from?
Man, that's because like I'm like real big in the Stones. Like you see anybody with me, like my crew like we Stone gang. We all got our stones on because they represent something. And for me, my spirit animal that I've always felt aligned with is gorillas.
Okay.
Mainly because like I'm not a real big meat eater for one thing. Like I'm pretty much almost off the chicken.
Yeah,
but,
I feel that.
I love gorillas because they're intelligent. They're big. They're very very family oriented. You know what I'm saying? Even when it comes to where they hide at, you know what I'm saying, where they live at, it's far up and high, and it's a whole way complex way you got to do to get to it, you know. So that's kind of how I am.
Okay. So many people may call you the Black Farmer, or you call yourself the Black Farmer. Can you elaborate more on that for people who don't know?
For sure. So Black Farmer is my brand, and I started it when my oldest boy was born because all three of my children are on the spectrum. They all have autism.
Okay.
So I was extremely nervous when I found out I was becoming a father. God kind of had me ready though because I've already worked with people on the spectrum for like 15 years. So my mama was like, he was kind of preparing me for my kids.
Yeah.
So I prayed, and God came to me in a dream, and basically he showed me a field because I was like falling out the sky, and I was like trying to figure out what was going on. And he just told me like it was a fingerprint that appeared on the field when I looked at it. And because I was asking him, you know, what should I do? I don't know what to do. And then that's when he like dropped it on me and told me I got to plant seeds in everybody that I meet. Basically, you know, changing who I am mentally and physically so I can prepare myself for my children. So by me planting seeds and people that I meet and water them correctly, I have a plentiful harvest. So it was like, you got to be a farmer, and the first farmers was black anyway. So just put it together, and it's been a beautiful thing, man. So shout out to my kids, because they the ones that changed my life completely. So.
Yeah. You mentioned, first of all, beautiful story. And I love how you mentioned the Lord giving you dreams and signs, because that gives you a little bit more confirmation and validation, like this is going to be okay, like everything is going to work out. Talk about how does working with your children on the spectrum, how does that inspire you each day to push and keep going?
Well, the best way I can explain to people, when you are around someone that has autism, just imagine being on a computer and having a million tabs open at the same time.
Yeah.
Because that's basically how it is. So, like, being a father of boys has definitely showed me how to be patient, especially with them being on the spectrum. My daughter has really, really transformed me into a different person, especially with her being on the spectrum, because they all have similarities, but they're all different at the same time. And it has changed my poise when it comes to me maneuvering through public or whatnot. I just carry a little bit more extra grace in my pocket for people instead of just teeing off. It constantly makes me work on my anger, you know what I'm saying, my temperament and things like that. And it also has kept me humble, 32. Like, I'm a servant, you know what I'm saying. Sometimes I refer to myself as a servant leader, because I think people really get the definition of the word servant kind of blurred. But I've always been a people person. I've always been a giver, and I like to be a servant, you know what I'm saying.
What do you feel like your God-given purpose is?
It's for me, I know for sure that it's for me to touch as many people as I can. I have a spirit and a heart full of love and parables and a lot of stories, and I've been through a lot of things in my life, and I've met a lot of people that have given me great seeds before they left here and went to the next phase. And I get enjoyment out of helping people and making them smile, helping them come up with solutions, things like that. So I know that's my purpose. Even with my team that I have, like, they're aligned with me as well, and I didn't ask for them. Like, God just brought them into my life. You know what I'm saying? So that's how I know that I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing. And honestly, since I reformed myself and kind of revamped myself in a way, like, everything in my life has become way more prosperous than it was before, you know.
Talk to me a little bit more about that, the revamp. What was it before versus what it is today?
Man, before, like, I definitely was not as calm, you know what I'm saying? I started off doing battle rap when I first started doing music. So that's how a lot of people knew me. I used to be at the Hot Point Cafe, and that's kind of how I got my feet wet, coming from the east side, having to come over to St. Louis, because that's where the market is. So I was, I ain't gonna say I was in the streets, but I'm from Washington Park, you know what I'm saying? So it's Charlie up all day. But my children made me start looking at things from a different lens, as far as me pouring into other people, me trying to fill other people's cups, me putting people before myself, trusting God, trusting the process, you know what I'm saying, knowing that when you build relationships, you create strong bridges, you know what I'm saying. And they just helped me have a better sight about things.
When you mentioned starting your music journey off in battle rap, talk to me a little bit more about that. What was that experience like?
It was dope. I was mad at my dad, and that's what really pushed me to start battle rapping a lot. My father and mother basically raised me in church when I was growing up, and I had a situation at church when I was like 15 that kind of left me cold about it. So I continued to go until I was 18, because then I had the choice to leave or not. And when I left, I used to write a lot of poetry and everything. And I've always loved to rap. And my father, like, he was like, nah, you know what I'm saying? You too smart to be rapping. You in the gifted program. You play the trumpet. You do this, you do that. And I'm like, nah, man, I want to rap.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And it was a way for me to get out how I felt without me actually physically doing anything to anybody.
Yeah.
And it just wound up turning into poetry and emotion, you know what I'm saying? Because I was once I learned how to control it, I was learning how to control my anger and mix it with my wordplay, because I was an avid reader, like, you know what I'm saying? I love reading.
Yeah.
It was a beautiful concoction.
Yeah. So how did you transition from battle rap to songwriting? Because you mentioned that you are a songwriter.
Yeah.
Elaborate a little bit more on
Shout
that.
Shout out to all the women that broke my heart. That's how it translated.
So you Drake? Are you the Drake? Or
I ain't gonna say I'm Drake. I'm more like a chocolate version of Heavy D.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
With the locks though.
Okay.
But it made me it got me out of being like real RR, you know what I'm saying? So like I started songwriting for real. So it wasn't so much as writing bars to battle, it was more like really putting how I feel into bars.
Yeah.
And like I say, the women that broke my heart, that taught me lessons, I was able to, you know, put it into poetry and you know what I'm saying, do it on the mic, and
Yeah.
it just, you know, took off from there. So
What are your favorite type of songs to write?
oh man, I love to write everything. 32, like I literally write everything. Like I'm in my I love black woman era right now.
Okay.
Like majority of my music that's been coming out now, I always have Easter eggs in there for the black women. Like
Yeah.
I'm always talking about something about them, whether it's the C4 hair, whether it's their skin, it's their eyes, they smile. Like I'm always throwing something out there, because I feel like we don't have enough music that's actually talking about you guys without subjectifying and objectifying. You know what I'm saying?
That is true.
So that's where we are right now.
How does being a poet help influence your music?
Oh, greatly. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm not afraid to be bare naked on the mic. You know what I'm saying? I'm not afraid to if we out of town somewhere, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes, you know, you get the occasional person that'll be like, spit something right now.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But when it comes to that, from doing poetry, from being that guy that don't mind standing up and telling the girl like, hey, I think you kind of fly. Your hair is really nice.
Yeah.
I'm hoping that you might like what I'm saying, so I could do it twice. You know what I'm saying? Just
Yeah.
starting off like that when I was a kid.
Okay.
And it was just, you know, I just got a chance to do it in front of people. And then the women was like, you know, I like you like that. So I was like, man, we finna leave the battle stuff alone.
Yeah. So you write a lot of love songs, or?
Oh yeah, I write love songs. I write songs that make you feel like you're not even in St. Louis no more.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You feel like you in the Caribbean somewhere.
Yeah.
I write music that if you're going through heartbreak, it's not gonna hurt as bad. And I also write music that will help you get it out. You know what I'm saying? So you can get rid of it. You feel me? And it all got replay value. So
I love that. So, talk to me a little bit more about the emerging 100 Black Men and how you became a part of that.
oh man, those are the guys, man. Shout out to them, the guys. I got a chance to join that organization by way of the Griffins. So my partner BJ Jackson, he is the chaplain of the Emerging, and he's also the GM for the St. Louis Griffins.
Okay.
And when we built our relationship, I was letting him know, you know, kind of what I was doing, and he took a look at my Black Former brand and he fell in love with it. He was like, bro, this is like one of the best brands that I've seen, you know what I'm saying, from the logo on down. And I was letting him know, like, man, I'm really trying to branch out more. I want to do more in the community here. So that's when he told me about the Emerging. And then I was like, oh, man, because I know it's a process.
Yeah.
But he was like, don't worry about that, man. So
Yeah.
I'm like, all right, cool. So I got invited to a couple of meetings. I got to meet some of the guys, and then it was like the ball started rolling, and I couldn't really say nothing to nobody. It was so hard because I was like, I want to tell.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
I know that feeling.
But it's a beautiful thing, man. We're very big on mentorship, and that's something that I'm big on because I don't believe that we can't reach the youth.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So shout out to them. We got brothers in so many different areas. One of our brothers is even a part of the Battlehawks organization.
Okay.
Which is why me and the Griffins were at the Battlehawk game yesterday.
Okay.
So we got brothers in a lot of top places, and yeah, we just trying to help the community and build a brick at a time.
Nice. How did growing up in East St. Louis have an effect on who you are today?
Man, great effect. Being institutionalized from birth when you growing up in a neighborhood where it's bars on the windows and the doors automatically, so you already looking through them. You know what I'm saying? Growing up in a neighborhood where they still got ditches down there, they don't have a up to date waterway system. It's a township. It's not even enough people to be a city.
Yeah.
We don't have a fire department. We had 3 policemen. All the drugs and crime you could think about, but I wouldn't trade it for the world. You know what I'm saying? Because it really did craft me, and it molded me who I am. And I'm an avid believer on God don't make mistakes 32. And I feel like everything that I've been through, every dramatic and traumatic situation I've been in it to overcome it, so I can be able to speak about it.
Yeah.
You know?
That's beautiful. It's giving very much humanitarian. Is there any type of projects that you're thinking about starting, or any foundations you're thinking about starting of your own?
So we are working on my non-for-profit, which is Black Former Cares.
Okay.
Man, there's a lot of things that I'm trying to do. 32. We partner with Craig Black, which the Community Cuts for Kids is coming up again. I believe this will be our 3rd year partnering with him.
Nice.
Where basically we sponsor. I know last year we did haircuts. We also had hairdressers there that was doing braids, twists, all kind of things for the young ladies. We also had 2 dental companies come in, and they actually did cleanings, fillings, and all of that stuff for free for the kids.
Okay.
We give away all school supplies for them as well. And we partner that up with the Noops and, the Kappas.
Yeah.
And we do it at the Kappa House on the east side, and we have several locations over here in St. Louis.
That's amazing.
Also, Mr. Ricky Winnington is another person that we've partnered with. We partnered with him last year, and we were up at Harris Stowe. We gave away suits. We had all the juniors and the seniors, young black men come in, and we had tailors there, and they got to pick out a suit that they wanted. We had button-ups, ties, all of that. And we had raffles, and we gave away laptops. We gave away shoes. I'm talking about, man, we gave away like so much stuff. I want to say, he'll probably correct me if I'm wrong, I want to say we gave away like over 250,000 worth of stuff.
Oh, that's amazing.
That's the kind of stuff that really I love to do. That's the main reason, like I tell people, that I want to be successful. It's not so much about the money. I mean, yes, I want to make sure I take care of me and my bloodline, but it's really about showing people in our area 32 that it's not that hard to start something and to give back, because they make it seem like it's such a hurdle that can't be jumped.
That's true. It sounds like you like working with the youth. How does working with the youth inspire you or keep you motivated? Because I know that's inspiring, working with younger kids.
It inspires me a lot, because like I say, I had a lot of older men that I hung out with. They taught me so much. My mother taught me how to count by playing dominoes, and that's how I wound up hanging out with the elders, because they played bones. Yeah. And if you beat an elder person playing bones, they ain't gonna let you get up. Like, you better sit down.
Yeah. You stuck for a few hours.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I don't mind listening. As much as people think I like to talk a lot, I really don't mind listening, and I really don't mind listening to people that are older than me, because I can't stress it enough. I tell people that they are the audiobooks before we had them. You know what I'm saying? So the youth, it's my due diligence, 32. Like, that's what I'm supposed to do. Like, each and every one of us is supposed to take what we have and what we've been given, and we supposed to pass it on. I always tell people, everything go back to the soil. You know what I'm saying? We are supposed to supercharge that soil for the next crops that's coming out.
And it's bigger than us. I think a lot of times we keep our gifts and skills tight, when in reality we supposed to be helping and touching as many people we can touch. So I love to hear that. I want to go back to your music though, because we touched base on you battle rapping, being a songwriter. Do you have any projects coming up soon, or anything that you're working on?
Yeah,
or do you want to keep it a secret?
We got well. This you know. I mean, we do so much, so it's all good. But if some going wrong, I get a text message or something.
Yeah.
But we've got So I got a project that we're real close to putting out. It'll be my EP.
Okay.
And it's definitely something that everybody's gonna love.
Okay.
I also have another project that is going to be dropping soon that I don't even want to really give it up like that.
Give us some inside scoop.
I'm gonna tell you that for the people, and when I say people, I mean like people that are like in the industry. For the people that have heard the 2 singles that we have, and I'm saying we because it's me and another person that we have on this project, we are being compared to Outkast. We are being compared to Sleepy Brown. Okay. All of that kind of music. What's my man? The Hamiltons. Okay. Like all of that neo soul, that good feeling music, that high vibration stuff that's like missing. Yeah. Like we finna bring that heartbeat back. You know what I'm saying? So
I love that.
Yeah, it's gonna be real nice. I don't want to give it away too much, but I'm gonna just say the single is called Cold. Okay. So
talk to us about the influence and what inspired you to write that song.
Man, it's man, you know, I got a person on my team that is very talented as well, and he came to me with the idea of the song, and it really what happened was we were in the studio, and I was in my mode of this my brother. I want to support him 100%. You know what I'm saying? And I was really there just to encourage him with what he was doing. And in the midst of that, he was like, man, you know, if you got something, you know, it'd be cool. And I was like, all right, cool. Yeah. And I went ahead and I penned something like in like 10 minutes. Okay. And I went in there and laid it down. And then my partner, who I've been working with forever, I only got one engineer. I've been working with him forever. Okay. He put his butter on there, and it was just like we was all sitting there like, this is crazy. Yeah. And then I told him, I said, you know what we got to do, right? We got to finish. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So that's kind of how it happened. And like I say, man, the people I've been blessed to build relationships with, they heard it and they were like, this should have been on the radio like last month. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? The men are saying that, the women are saying that. So we pretty excited.
Yes, that sounds lit. I'm super excited. Thank you for sharing.
No problem. No problem.
Now I would like to dive into how you started getting into media as far as your platforms. How did you grow your platforms? Because I see you're on TikTok doing great things. Obviously, you're on Instagram. So tell me about how you grew your platforms.
I grew my platforms from planting seeds. Yeah. That's kind of what happened. I kind of blew up on TikTok overnight. There was a young lady that was missing. Mm-hmm. And what happened was I saw Amina Ali from Real STL News, and they were out looking for the young lady. And and I'm not even lying to you, 32. I was at home in the kitchen looking on my phone, and they were outside calling her name, and I didn't see not one man. Mm-hmm. Not one. It was literally all women and little children out there. Mm-hmm. And it made me feel like crap. Yeah. Because I was like, this is unacceptable. Yeah. So I reached out and I was like, yo, I'm coming out there. So the next day, we went out and we looked for her. We didn't find her. Mm-hmm. I made a TikTok in Schnucks parking lot. I had a reflective vest on. Mm-hmm. And when I woke up the next morning, the video had like 1 million views. Oh it had like 40,000 some comments. Like I didn't expect it at all. Mm-hmm. And it was so many people talking about it that it just went mega viral. Mm-hmm. Like it was news stations reaching out to me. It was celebrities reaching out to me about it. Because originally it was said that her family thought she got abducted by a white guy in a van. Mm-hmm. So, like, everybody was on alert. But we wound up finding her, and come to find out it was some internal things going on with her family. Mm-hmm. And we were able to locate her to get her away from being abused in many different ways. Yeah. So that's kind of how I blew up on TikTok. Mm-hmm. And then from that, I would always go live when we would travel out of town. And I'm very holistic on a lot of things. Like, I'm not big on over-the-counter medicine at all. And a lot of people follow me. And one of the things that I went over that also made me go viral is I was talking to black women about how many times do you guys go to the doctor and you got heartburn, especially when you're pregnant. And they're like, oh, it just means your baby got a lot of hair.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But I was telling them, you all need to go to the doctor and ask them to check you for gallstones. And like a lot of black women went on there was like, are you sure? I'm like, just go ask them. I don't care how much they fight you about it, just ask them. I have at least 7 women that came back on there crying to me in the comments going, I had it.
Oh my
I didn't even know it. I didn't know it. Thank you so much. Like, that's what was wrong with me. I feel so much better now.
Yeah.
And like I was telling my manager, like, we was in North Carolina. I think that was the biggest time I had like 300,000 people on my live, and they shut my live down.
Oh my gosh.
Cause like I was in the backyard, like sitting down, like in the grass, like grounding, and we was talking and everything. And it's just at home for me, 32. Like I feel like that's what I'm supposed to do, and that's just where my focus is.
When did you, or how did you get into the natural remedies and the holistic stuff?
When I started having my kids, because like I was like, I want my kids to be as healthy as possible because they already got something that they dealing with mentally. And like my kids are extremely healthy. They are vegan. You know what I'm saying? Like, they don't even want meat. They don't want any of those things. We don't do cow milk, any of those kind of dairies or whatnot. Yeah. And it helps a lot. My children don't get sick a lot. I don't get sick a lot. I had a lot of things going on with myself. I lost, my team could tell you, I lost like 100 and some pounds in like 4 months.
Oh, nice.
Because I was just
I need the remedy.
You good, man. You good.
Yeah.
You good. She talking about she need the remedy. And she the one that's got the big following. My little following, all right.
Yeah. No, it's honestly the power of our voices. I don't think, well, not everybody has the skill to get up and talk and do what you do or maybe do what I do. But using the power of your voice is such a beautiful thing because you are touching so many people. Like you said, you helped out 7 women, and I'm sure it's more and counting. Those were just the only 7 that decided to, write you.
Yeah.
But that's amazing, and I love to hear that. So speaking of the power of your voice, it would not be right unless we discuss more about the radio. And when I say the radio, for my audience who is not from St. Louis, Greze and I were auditioning to be a co-host for our city's #1 station for hip hop and R&B, Hot 104.1. I'm sure you guys have been waiting a long time to hear our perspective about the radio experience. Some of y'all messy, which is why I know y'all really, really waited on this part of the show. So before we even dive deep, I do want to make a disclaimer that my platforms are meant to inspire, motivate, and uplift. But I do feel like we got to tell our stories, right? It wouldn't be right if we didn't speak our truth. I know how social media can be and how people can be. They'll dissect the things that you say. I'm going to just say this. I say what I mean and I mean what I say. And I speak from love. And I'm especially speaking from a healed place. I just got to tell my story. And I would love for Greze to share his too. So, let me give y'all a little background information because some of y'all might not even be from St. Louis. So, June? Yeah. Last June, our city, St. Louis, was looking for, the radio station, Hot 104.1, was looking for a new co-host, okay? There was already 2 hosts. They was looking for a third, right? Now, when they dropped the flyer, do you remember that day and what you felt like?
Yeah, I was like, man, I called my manager and I was like, hey, we finna go and get this a try. He was like, what you talking about? I'm like, man, the radio looking for a new host. And he already know, like, I do a lot of hosting and things like that. So I'm like, we gonna go and give it a shot. I called my photographers and I'm like, yo, we gotta get the video going, all that, you know what I'm saying? So it was exciting. It was exciting. I ain't gonna lie. I was thrilled, you know.
Do you remember where you were, what you were doing when you saw it?
I want to say.
Did you see it on Instagram or Facebook? I didn't see it on like Facebook. I saw
it on Instagram.
Oh, okay, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I saw it on Instagram.
So for me, I remember almost what I had on in that moment, okay? I was at the gym with my little sister trying to get right for the summer. And I'm on the treadmill, y'all, and I refreshed my Instagram feed. Remind you, y'all know I post my motivational content in the morning at 8 o'clock. So I refreshed my feed, just trying to check and see how my analytics were doing on my video. And I look down and I see 104.1 is looking for a third co-host. And literally, y'all, I kid you not, if I'm lying, I'm dying right now. I was like, this is my job. This is my job. I read the criteria, what they were looking for. They said they wanted influence. They wanted following. They wanted, I guess, somebody that looked the part or whatever, or who would fit inside of that group. And I said, this is me. I showed my little sister. We were on the treadmill. She like, try it. I called my mama. I'm like, Ma, I think I need to try out for this job. I think I need to audition. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, and I want to pause because I forgot to include this. They had reached out to me maybe like a week, maybe to a month. Don't quote me on that. And they wanted me to be a guest on the show. So when I saw they never did have me as a guest. But when I saw them post the flyer, I was like, this is confirmation that they don't need me as a guest. They need me as a host. Okay. So what were your thoughts? Like, what were you thinking to yourself when it came to being on the radio? Like, did you feel like you were prepared for it? Do you feel like this was just going to be something new? Did you need additional training? Like,
I'm gonna be honest with you, man. I wasn't nervous or anything because I'm not trying to sound cocky or nothing, but like, this is my wheelhouse. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm used to this. I think growing up in church, being on the mic, being in all the different levels of choirs and everything, like being in front of people, being on a microphone, talking, singing, whatever, like it just didn't bother me. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I was excited because I'm like, for me, I'm like, yeah, man, this what the city need, man. I'm ready to get them this high vibrational energy. You know what I'm saying? I'm ready to come through with it. You feel me? So I was excited, and having everybody already tell me like, don't do it. They they ain't gonna pick no guy. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was like, man, I'm definitely finna do it.
Yeah. That gave you the extra push to try. You mentioned growing up in church and speaking on the mic there. I might have spoke about this on my live days when I was on air during the audition process. But years ago, I was studying communication at UMSU. All right, mind you, y'all, I come from a family full of entrepreneurs. So me being in college, I didn't have my head in the game when I was studying communication, but I always knew I wanted to be on radio. And I had my 32 Flavors name. I got that name in college. So I used to, what's up, y'all? It's 32 Flavors on the ones and twos whenever I was on the aux with my friends. Like, it was just always a dream of mine to be a media face or the black girl in media, right? So I just knew like this was God spinning the block on my dreams, on my goals, because I have been running my business. I didn't expect for this radio opportunity to present itself. So yeah, I was like, let the show begin. What did you do in between? Oh, wait, we got to wind it back. Your audition video.
Yeah.
You had a cold video. What inspired you to do that? And tell the audience or remind them what you did for your video.
So it was funny because I want to say right around the time that we was doing that, the Mississippi Massacre happened.
Okay, yeah.
So like at the time, everybody was big on that whole riverboat fight thing. The captain throwing his hat up in the air and all of that. Yeah. So like I said, I'm from the east side. I had to run over there to East St. Shout out to the Flyers. I had to go to East St. Louis Senior High School. And I'm like, hey, yo, East St. Louis, I need your help. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And then we ran back over to the Arch, and I'm like, St. Louis, I need y'all help. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, y'all got me, y'all ready. And I threw my hat up in the air under the Arch, So it was funny. It caught on because it was trending at the time. And like everybody that loved my video, they was like, bruh, when you threw the hat in the air, I just lost it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But it was all in fun. But at the same time, it was a great thing to do because regardless of what happened, I just wanted people to know that there are people in this city that really do care about this city and care about what's going on in this city. And I want people to understand that it's okay to want to be positive, and it don't mean that you can't have a life. It don't mean that you still can't kick it. You still can't turn
speak
up.
to that, because that's me. That's my life.
You still can do all of those things, but when it comes to you checking in on your maturity and your morality, like stop cheating yourself.
Yeah, you know, and we need positive, or I felt like we needed positivity on the radio. So why not me, or why not you? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So speaking of your video, y'all, my video, I was in the car with it like I normally do. I'm like, what's up, y'all? It's 32 Flavors. I didn't even try. I'm going to just be real. I didn't. I put my St. Louis hat on, lined my lips up, and I said, let me just speak like I thought that I had it. I don't know. Maybe that was me moving out of ego. I probably should have put a little bit more work in. Because when I uploaded video, I literally was just in the car like, what's up, y'all? It's 32 Flavors.
Did you have a blue hat on?
Yeah, I had a blue hat on.
See, yeah.
I was like, let me stand out with the blue hat. Yeah. But I mean, I didn't really try that hard. And I made sure I filmed my video, I think either the next day when they posted the flyer, and I started seeing other people post their videos. I'm like, wait a minute. I should have tried a little bit harder. But it's cool. It's cool. So, yeah, shout out to you for just going hard with like from the beginning. Because me, I'm just like, whatever, let me just make this quick video. What did you think about the audition process? So let's fast forward to past the audition video. Let's fast forward to when we went to Fahrenheit and talk about that.
I thought that was the biggest setup in the world.
Yeah.
That's how I felt.
Yeah.
Because they didn't come down there on time like they were supposed to at the time that was said. And everybody was in there getting liquored up. I'm talking about everybody getting drunk.
Yeah.
The DJ in there jamming.
Yeah.
And me and my team, we sitting there looking like water boys. Because I'm like, I don't want nothing to drink. I don't want nothing. I'm sitting there like, man, they tripping, brother. When it's time for us to go talk, they finna be full.
Slurred speech.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I promised the guy, like, as soon as I said that, Shorty came out of nowhere. I was like, yeah, y'all having a good time, huh? I guess some of y'all forgot y'all up here for work. Yeah. And I'm like, I knew it. There you go.
It was a test.
It was the test.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So Fahrenheit was great. It was a and shout out to everybody that
Pause. For the audience that don't know, not to cut you off, Fahrenheit is a club in St. Louis. That's where they held the original audition, the live audition. Yeah. Sorry. Go ahead.
Shout out to everybody that was, that came out and everything. But besides the, getting everybody liquored up and all that, it was electrifying. I had a good time. I had a great time. It was a great time seeing everybody, especially like people that you saw on the video.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, I truly was in the room like, that's a old girl over there. You know what I'm saying? So, that was a blast. And honestly, shout out to everybody that was in the room, excuse me, that showed me all the love that they did when I got done reading what we had to read, because that was the moment that I was told that they all were like, yeah, we gonna give them a chance.
That's what I heard too.
So shout out to everybody just, being supportive like that, because we all was there, you know what I'm saying, competing. But I got a lot of love. So it was great, man. Like I say, I loved it. I enjoyed it a lot. So.
What did you do to prepare? Like when you was getting dressed for the audition, what was you like? Did you put your music on? Was you riding to your?
I mean.
Did you put your Sunday's best on? I don't remember. I don't think I saw you.
I definitely had me a salmon colored shirt on. You know what I'm saying, with a blue tie with little accents of the salmon in there. Yeah. And I had my autism pen on as well. I was dressed up, like I was coming for a job. And I ain't gonna lie, now that you bring that up, I was the only guy in there with a button up in the town. Everybody else was kind of like, dirty T-shirt, sweaty polo, Hennessy collar, stuff like that.
Yes.
So, yeah, I was definitely feeling it. I was definitely feeling good. And I was just, the whole time, like I say, 32, I'm big on God. I was like, man, if it's for me, it's for me. And my manager kept telling me, he was like, hey, man, all they could do is tell you no.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So,
So for me, y'all, they said dress to impress. They said basically do your big one. So I said, I'm not going to put on my suit and tie. I'm not going to put on my church fit. I came in there, I had my jumpsuit on, I had my heels on, my hair was done, makeup done. You couldn't tell me nothing. I'm just gonna be 100. I walked in like, yeah, ain't nobody seeing me. You know, I feel like when you auditioning, you have to have that confidence to carry you. That don't mean I wasn't nervous. But I felt like I had to walk into the room like God called me here, because I felt like everything was lining up. My motivational videos were doing well. People were seeing me, noticing me, and I just felt like it was my time. But I feel like everybody feel like it's their time. Like, you probably thought it was your time. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So going back to the when we had to walk in front of the judges, that moment right there, first of all, it was so loud in that club.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, I felt like I couldn't hear myself.
Oh, yeah.
So I couldn't, you need to testing, 1, 2, 3, like check your tone. I felt like I couldn't do that. I almost felt like I needed to have like an earpiece in, like how celebrities do when they perform at concerts. But I got up there, I read the script, I felt like I did pretty well. And they asked me, why do you feel like you should get the job? Now, before I walked up, they were asking other people all these other different questions. So I didn't even know what questions they were going to ask me. But they were like, why do you feel like you should get the job? And I'm like, y'all looking for somebody with influence? I started off with 20,000 followers. Now I'm at 30,000. I was on the shade room. I'm just running down my stats.
Yeah.
And when I walked away, shout out to my best friend, she was sitting on the sideline like, yes, yes, yes. And I just saw her out the corner of my eye, and I'm like, you know what? I killed this. I did great. And it looked like I got good feedback. Or they were, like, okay, feeling me.
Yeah.
So that gave me a little confidence. But as far as the room goes, there were so many different people. Shout out to everybody that came out.
Oh, yeah.
Because the room, it was like, wow, there's so much talent in the city. Even though, first of all, it brought awareness to everybody who auditioned or submitted a video, but it just reminded me of how powerful the city is when we come together and try to do something positive and try to, be great. So that was amazing. Now, y'all, I know y'all know in St. Louis, this was a very long process. How did you feel as far as the length? Like, what were you doing?
It was driving us crazy because when they originally were supposed to announce the winner, we had people that came in town. Like, I had people that like drove into town, flew into town, cause they was Team Greze. They like, we finna have a party. You know what I'm saying? And then they was like, yeah, we ain't doing that right now. I'm like, what? Yeah. Yeah. So we definitely were. We were waiting, man. I was anxious. Yeah, we're talking about life-changing wages here. Salary, wherever you want to go with it. And doing something that I love. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, we definitely was waiting. I was up and down. And we're talking like before they announced the finalists, like, I'm up and down. Of course, I'm concerned because everybody like, you're a guy. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, we was.
Even though I know it was, for y'all that don't know, if you don't know, there were already 2 guys on the show. So, in my mind, I'm like, they need a woman. And in his mind, but I felt like if there was a good guy, they would have, they would choose you. I didn't feel like the option. Now, it made more sense to choose a woman, so that way there would be a female perspective on the show. Right. But I also felt like, shoot, you did great. Like, why couldn't they choose you?
I appreciate it.
Yeah. Shout out to you again. So speaking of the process, I do feel like it took a long time to actually decide who was going to win. I felt like I was at the edge of my seat every single day, but I'm going to just be real and say this. That waiting period, that waiting season put me in hunger mode, because for some of y'all who know or don't know, I've been doing lashes for 6 years. I've been running my shop for 3 years now, right? And I have not felt that hungry about something since I started my business. So that gave me a different fire that I felt like I needed in my life. And then also, it was like God was reminding me, like, hold on, like, you got that talent, that skill that you've been keeping in the cut. Because like I said, I was in school, this was years ago. So it was like the fact that this was a full circle moment for me. I don't know, it just brought that grizzly out of me. It made me get up every day. I was in the gym. I'm like, I got to get fine. I'm finna be at the events. I'm finna be hosting. I'm gonna be doing this. Like, I just went, it was just tunnel vision.
Yeah.
Tunnel vision. So, yeah, that process was crazy.
I think for me, like, I already was in my weight loss journey bag. So, like,
Yeah.
like he could tell you, like, hitting the park every day, walking, calling him on the phone while he doing business. And it was like, I think I was like what you said, I had said that like on my birthday, like the year before, because we was in Chicago, and I was like, man, I'm finna get to it. Like, they have no idea. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So like, yeah, I was in that mode too. And like I say, when we was waiting, I definitely was still moving. Like, I still was doing everything that I was doing. And yeah, I was definitely trying to stay active, because I'm like, you know what? I don't think, and I don't need nobody thinking that this is it for me. You know what I'm saying?
I feel like, that. Yeah.
This ain't it for me. Like, this just something extra. We
we
just dipped the toe in over here.
Dip the toe in. And one of my mottos that I live by is stay ready so you ain't got to get ready. So I was just making sure I was on point from the moment they dropped the flyer saying they looking for somebody until infinity. Honestly, I haven't sat down since. So I want to ask you, what did you take away from that waiting season? Like, what did you learn? Or
I want to say something that I learned is I have been in a battle within self for a long time as far as support when it comes to like the city or whatnot.
Yeah.
And there's always been this looming East St. Louis whack beef thing going on. And I was very, very honored and very appreciative to see the amount of support that I was getting from St. Louis people. I really was, like, from the tags. You know, people was referring to me as the dude with the gold teeth. Like, I saw so many comments like, y'all need to pick my girl 32, the old boy with the gold teeth. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like,
I was like, it's me and Gree. What's good? But
and that's honestly, that's how I was feeling. I was like, I even had told it to the camp, I'm like, yeah, it's looking like me and 32, because I'm seeing so many people in the comments saying it, you know what I'm saying? So, yeah,
the streets need the positivity.
Oh, yeah.
I was ready to bless the radio, the St. Louis ears with positivity each and every morning.
I was too, man. I was ready for the kids to be wanting to call in the morning, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. I was ready, man. I was going to be like, what up?
Yeah. It's your girl, 32 Flavors. Yeah. I was rehearsing in the car. Like, I don't know. I just felt so good during that whole process. Now, it did take a long time, but one thing that I learned was don't put all your eggs in one basket. Oh, yeah. Because I was hungry, and that was great, and I learned a lot from that moment. But all the eggs was in the basket. I mean, I was doing my motivational stuff. I was still making content, as y'all know, me from TikTok or just being a content creator, whatever. But I was so focused on winning that competition that I felt like looking back on that moment, I should have had a little bit of energy here in the radio, a little bit of, dividing it up. I felt like I just gave my all to that. And when you do that, sometimes you risk being let down in the end.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah.
But I feel like we are the kind of people to where we go hard like that regardless. Like, it's not no 50, it's not no 75. Yeah. You know, it's 100. Yeah. And that go from the head to the toe to I gotta make sure my toothbrush is good. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's just how I am. And it ain't nothing wrong with being that way either.
That's a good point. And our show was like, dang, I gave this 1,000%. Like, my all. But I mean, like you said, it is a good thing. Maybe that's just our character.
It shows it, you know, at 32, like, you'd be surprised how many people out there that if they ain't saying 32 flavors, they looking in the mirror like, I'm 33 flavors.
Yeah.
You know
No,
what
I
I'm
feel
saying?
that. Yeah.
And they doing that because they sit in their car and when they look at themselves, they feel like you, but they feel better about themselves. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
that comes from you always putting that healthy amount of effort and energy forth
Yeah.
like that, you know.
Yeah. So let's jump ahead again. When they announced on the radio who won, what did you feel like? Or what did you feel like maybe a week before they announced? Or wait, let's take it back. How did you feel about your days on air?
Man, my days on air were amazing. Like I had a wonderful time.
Yeah.
The first day, like I say, the highlight I had brought up Kurt Franklin, because at the time he had just put out a segment about him finding out who his biological father was finally.
Yeah.
And by me talking about that, we had people calling in to the station. Like, a couple of them was crying. Like, man, thank you so much for talking about that. I'm going to call my dad today. I haven't talked to him. We had one person who did call their dad before they called in.
Yeah.
And was just like, man, you know, you helped me let go of some things I was holding on to. You know, I do need to try to, you know, spend as much time with my dad as I can while you're here. And I was just like, yeah, you know, fathers just don't really get a lot of light and a lot of attention. You know, we don't even look at our Father's Day commercials. They trash.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They trash.
It's
man.
all about the mama.
So it was great getting that feedback. Me and Shorty had a great time up there. We was freestyling on the mic. We did a lot of stuff. And like I said, when I got a chance to do my little rendition of Mr. Rogers, I had so many people inbox me 32 like, thank you for doing that. Thank you for speaking about autism. Thank you for saying this and saying that. So it was a blast for me. I felt like the goal was accomplished for me.
I feel that. And to highlight what he's talking about, we were instructed to choose 3 entertainment reports. And remind y'all, I was the first person to go.
Yep.
So I was nervous, but I'm like, you know what? I ain't got they can't compare me to nobody because I'm the first person.
And what day did you go again?
I went the first day. I can't even remember the day.
I want to say
September.
It was my birthday.
Oh, okay.
Because I think I
you
called in.
Yeah.
Yep, I called in.
Yeah.
Because I was like, I wonder if they gonna make me go on my birthday because it's my birthday.
Yeah.
But then they was like 32 going. I'm like, all right, that's cool.
Yeah.
Then I can really relax and kick it on my birthday.
That's another moment to highlight, y'all. When I was on air, either it was I think it was the first day you called in, and I was like, I like Greze. He's cool because so they were people were allowed to call in while I was on air or while all of us were on air, and to hear my fellow what we call a contestant.
Yeah.
It was like, okay, I got some support. I rock with Greze. And so going back to my days, I was nervous the first day. I had to say a long prayer before I walked into the building because I just needed that extra confidence. I've never been on the radio before, live on air. Like, this is a dream. I just felt like it was a surreal experience. You know what I'm saying?
How did you feel walking in I know you're supposed to be asking me questions.
Yeah.
But how did you feel walking in the garage, like going up to the door?
Like, this about to be my job. This about to be my spot. This how I got to get in and get out. I'm waiting on my key. What's up? We don't even need to audition with nobody else. Just choose me. Yeah, no, it was an amazing feeling. And honestly, I don't take that moment back for the world. Like, it was amazing to even be able to sit in that seat. I didn't finish school, okay? We just going off my platforms and 32 flavors, whatever, like she won, whatever. I don't know, y'all. Like, just thinking back in that moment, there were so many thoughts in my head. I was like, I got to do this for my family. I'm going to get my family out the hood. Like, I just knew that this was the beginning of something great. I knew it wasn't just going to stop at the radio.
Right.
I knew that this radio platform was going to take me to wherever else God had me going. Even, I'm sure with you, how did you feel, like, with your music and like, what were you thinking in your head?
Man, I was thinking, like, cause see, you know, I didn't bring up me doing music at all.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, like, for me, again, and my team, this was something that we thought about, something that we practiced for, something that we was like, you know what, we're big on, using other things to catapult us to where we trying to go. So I was already in the realm of, I get this job, it's over. You know, like outside of St. Louis, I'm on the radar when it comes to music. But at home, I gotta win the backyard. This was gonna be me winning the backyard.
Yeah.
So I was definitely like, it's up. They say my name and say I won, it's up.
Boy.
Because not only is it gonna be up because of that 32, but I would have broke the mold. Like, it ain't no 3-man, ain't no rugby going on in the morning. You hear me?
Yeah, I feel that. I feel that same way.
Yeah.
Man. First of all, we didn't even get a chance to shout out 104.1 for the experience, the opportunity.
Yeah.
Shout out Odyssey, because I learned so much. I learned so much behind the scenes that you don't even think about. The ads, the commercials, what you can say, what you can't say. I mean, obviously, you know, you got to move with some decorum on the radio. But to hear you can't say this, you can't say that, I'm like, okay, I got to really watch my mouth.
Yeah.
A part of me was like, let me stop cussing outside of the radio so I can make sure I don't do that when I get this job.
Hey,
know?
ain't nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
And I mean, it was, for me, man, I know everything going on right now, but shout out to Andrew.
Yeah.
When I was there, despite everything going on, Andrew was extremely kind to me. He definitely was hospitable. He introduced me to all the people I needed to know. He also let me see the ins and outs of the building. So it was like, if you get picked or not, I want you to get the full experience.
Yeah.
So you have something to aspire.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So shout out to him. And shout out to Shorty for everything. All of the conversations we've had, you know, just the brotherly love like that. You know what I'm saying? So it was, it makes you get semi-emotional sometimes when you think about it, when you go back to it, because my team could tell you I refer to it as the big antenna.
Yes.
And I told, and for me now, 32, my mind go like this. I'm always last, and I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
But like my manager, my photographer, they could tell you I'm always like, I need to do this for y'all. You know what I'm saying? Like, I want us to be able to tour all the time. I want us to be able to go over here and give back and do this all the time. So when this was happening, and the sad part about it is my manager the whole time, he was like, boy, you know it's a good chance they might not pick you, boy.
Yeah.
You know?
Going back to him shouting out Shorty and Andrew and pretty much everybody up there at the station, I just got to shout out Shorty, one, because Shorty made me feel so comfortable. There were moments where I was stuttering over my words. I was forgetting my train of thought, like, you know, just nerves. And he didn't even act like I did anything, or he was just like, keep going, keep going, keep going. And you need that, you know what I'm saying? When you trying something new and this is your first time, you didn't get training for this. So having that encouragement, it meant more than probably he even know. And also, despite everything going on, shout out to Andrew. Like you said, he made me feel comfortable. He did give me a tour around the building, like, this gonna be your job, you know? And I was like, okay, this gonna be my job, you know? And I just felt good being able to see the building. It was just so nice. And again, I don't take that moment back or for granted for anything. So let's go forward to how you felt when the day before they announced the winner. Had you heard anything about anything? So I think being like December.
I mean, so like, I heard rumors, but I wasn't like concrete on anything, because you know anything can happen.
Yeah.
But like he said, I was calling my manager every day, like, you know, like, man, what they gonna do, man? I don't know if they gonna pick me, man. I don't know if they gonna pick me, man. You know. And the day before, I ain't gonna lie, I don't even think I went to sleep for real.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think I went to sleep. Like, I stayed up super late. Because I think I was calling my whole team, like, man, I'm just telling y'all right now, man, they don't call my name, man. My manager was like, Oh man, go somewhere,
Yeah.
man. You gonna be all right.
Yeah.
So yeah, I was super nervous the day before. Yeah.
I just want to clear up one thing. I forgot to add this point when we were talking about us at the live audition at Fahrenheit. So many people in the comments were saying, y'all knew y'all was gonna pick Tiffany. Y'all knew y'all was gonna pick Tiffany because she wasn't at Fahrenheit for the live auditions.
No.
So I'm gonna just be 100 with you. If I'm Tiffany Fox, I'm just putting myself in her shoes. If I'm Tiffany Fox, I made a name for myself, the city know who I am, etc. Why would I come to Fahrenheit? Like, if I was her, I wouldn't have came to Fahrenheit. It didn't make sense for her to be there. And so many people were like, y'all playing with them people, y'all playing with the people. I didn't feel played with. I just felt like it was politics. Why would she come?
I think this the reason why people said that, because once they did announce who the contestants were, the finalists, we all have a pretty nice, pretty decent following of people. That is a mixture of family. It's a mixture of people that look up to us, and it's a mixture of people that feel like they are like us. So we had a lot of emotionally attached people.
Yeah.
So they're looking at it like we're honestly going after this. And they feel like if we had to go through so much, they shared our video all the time. They commented on it. They reached out to people in other states like, hey, I need your help. They want to know, why is it that we went so hard and she didn't have to?
Yeah.
And that's really what it was. And I get where you're coming from when you feel like she's an icon in the city, you know, as far as, you know, who's who.
Yeah.
But at the same time, this St. Louis. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? And St. Louis, one thing I know about St. Louis, even though I'm not from here, is that they would have preferred if they would have just rolled it out and just said, hey, we got Tiffany Fox, we bringing her back to the crib.
Yeah.
She finna be the new host on the morning show.
Yeah.
Versus it being like, yeah, I knew y'all was gonna pick her all alone.
Yeah.
And then some of the comments that came out afterward that kind of solidified like she had time on the air before we got on there, and like all those other things. It really made people feel like, yo, y'all was playing with our time.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because you gotta think about it, 32. Think about the people that didn't get picked. The people that really did put something into their video. You know what I'm saying? Like if you don't have a team of people and you just rustle and round up some people that care enough, these are all people that are taking time out of their schedule, money out of their pocket to help you come up with something to give you a shot at your dream. And in reality, y'all already had signed, sealed, and delivered. Oh yeah. Yeah. So that's really why people was feeling like that.
See, I feel all sides. When it comes to situations, I try to put myself in everybody's shoes. This is not even me tip riding. I'm just being 100. Like, if I was Tiffany, I'm not coming to Fahrenheit. I paid my dues, period. Like, period. We talking, like, let's just say it was a motivational speaking, inspirational thing. I'm thinking in my mind, I showed y'all that I can do this. Why, like, you know, why do I have to go to the club and say, what, this is why I should get chosen? Like, you know, but I feel what you're saying, though. I understand why people were upset, but that's the risk you take when you chasing your dreams. That's the risk you take when you go audition. You got to know in your mind, I got it. Forget Tiffany, forget this person, that person. You know, I don't know. I see all sides, though. But I did, when I was at Fahrenheit, I did bullet point that in my head. I'm like, okay, Tiffany not here. Tiffany is running. So that means she is right there. The competition is her, if it would be anybody, you know. Shout out to Tiffany Fox too, and
shout out to Tiff. Shout out to Tiff.
I feel like another thing, when she won, I believe it was that morning, she was like, I felt like they was playing with me. Like, I felt like I had already knew about this months ago. Why did I have to go through the audition process? Again, if I was her, if I had already talked to y'all and y'all bust out with an audition process, I would be like, now, hold on now. You know, I felt like she did kind of have to take a step back like the rest of us. It just hit different because we aren't Tiffany. You know what I'm saying?
I can understand that too. I can understand that too. But I I don't know. Me personally, I feel like somebody knew what direction they was going in. And I mean, if we just want to be honest, it is a business.
Yeah.
And they needed downloads for the apps, which all of us downloaded the app. They needed to get listeners up. They needed to get community engagement.
Yeah.
And
get the radio back popping.
That is what they got.
Yeah.
You know. And unfortunately, of course, we know somebody got to win and somebody got to lose. But again, I just think when it comes to contests, sometimes the radio gets a bad rap. They got a bad coat on about the contest. And this was another chance that people were like, don't let us down, regardless of who won, just as long as it was done correctly.
I feel that.
And that's just where it stemmed from.
Yeah. No, I feel all sides, honestly. But I just wanted to make that point, like, Tiffany probably felt the way too. Like, we don't put ourselves in other people's shoes. Like, yeah, it felt crazy to me. I thought I was going to win. I thought I had it just like everybody else did. You know what I'm saying? So, I don't know. One thing I can say is God's timing, he never fails.
Come on.
And what's for you is for you, like you said at the beginning. And so, when they announced that Tiffany won, I ain't going to lie. I was like, dang, I straight lost. Like, dang, y'all, I straight lost. I had everything that I worked hard for, I feel like I got.
Yeah.
So to that hit a little different. Now, I'm going to carry everything with grace because that's my character. And so I made my post. I thank y'all so much for supporting me. And I got so much feedback. But, I shed a little tear. I ain't going to lie. I was like, I ain't get it. I was like, I'm going to give myself 20 minutes to, let that go. Because it would have meant the world to me to win.
Yeah.
But it unlocked a beast in me that, honestly, if it was not for that, we would not be here doing this podcast right now. I promise you we would not. So
there you go.
In the hindsight, it's everything. And looking back at that moment, it just built another beast in me. What you think?
I would agree.
It sounds like you got something else to say.
Because again, like I say, for me being an entrepreneur myself, being a dad, you always are excited about a level up. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, so like me being an entrepreneur myself, I can't work in like a original, historical 9 to 5. So I have to be self-made. I have to hustle because, like I say, I got 3 that's on the spectrum. Yeah. So again, that's another reason I was like super excited and I was emotional about it and everything because I'm like, this gonna be perfect. Like I'm gonna be able to go ahead and
work that. What is it, 6 to 10? Or no, 5 to 10.
Like
5 to 10.
6 to 6 to 10, 5 to 10, something like that.
Yeah, 6 to 10. And you had to be there at 5:45. Yeah. I ain't gonna lie, getting up them days, I was like, woo.
Excuse me.
But I was willing to do whatever I had to do to climb that ladder because waking up at 3, I think the first day I woke up at 3:30 because I didn't want to miss no alarms. I set multiple alarms. I
think I did too.
Yeah, and the second day I'm like, okay, well, we could do about 4:15. And yeah, going back to how I felt just being in the room, it was just such a surreal experience. And I feel like anybody that's in media, I wish if you haven't sat in that chair, I feel like everybody needs to experience that because, man.
Excuse me, I'm sorry.
Grease getting emotional, y'all. He got a lot to say, a lot on his chest. But yeah, one thing I did not get to share with y'all was the fact that although they announced Tiffany, a little while after that, they had brought me in and offered me my own show. Now, I know a lot of y'all are like, what? Oh my gosh. Yeah, they offered me my own show. And I remember walking out from that meeting, calling my mom, like, Ma, like, look at God working. He ain't want me to be a co-host. He wanted me to have my own show. Yeah. But there was a small piece within me, like, don't get too excited because you got let down the first time. So don't get too excited. And I ain't gonna lie. I have not heard back since, but now looking back at that moment, I didn't hear back from them because I was supposed to start my own thing.
For sure.
And you don't see it like that in the moment. I felt like God was just hitting me with just back-to-back stuff. He was telling me, nope, nope, nope. Because not only, like y'all heard me saying in my introduction video, I felt like the radio was just the start of God just really showing me to be patient, trust me. And fast forward, y'all, I know y'all know already that the show is now canceled. How did you feel about that when you heard that the show was canceled?
Man, excuse me, man. I was up cooking breakfast.
Talking about eggs and bacon. Okay. Oh, no, you don't do the bacon.
I was
turkey,
up.
chicken, sausage.
Excuse me, no, I do the turkey bacon. But I was cooking breakfast, and it blew my mind. Mm-hmm. It did. I ain't gonna lie to you. It blew my mind. I was like, what? And of course, all my people called me like, God don't play about you. I'm like, man, look, y'all, look. You know. But again, that just goes back to me saying, like, there were so many people emotionally invested. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? That's why it kind of went the way it went. But, you know, all in all, my hat go off to them. I don't wish anybody to lose their job or anything like that, you know.
I straight prayed for them that day because I'm like, obviously I was in shock at first, but after I settled in that day, I'm like, let me pray for them because imagine losing your job. I don't care what position you in. Don't nobody want to hear that the show is canceled. You know what I'm saying? Like, especially without knowing. I mean, I don't know if they knew or not. I'm speaking just from assumption. But waking up one day and the show is just gone, no exit. Like normally, you know, at a regular job, they know you put your 2 weeks in. A couple days before your last day, they bringing in the cake. Like, I don't know if they got a chance to do that, but I would have been crushed if I was on the show and it just completely ended. So, my love and hugs are extended out to y'all.
Yeah, most definitely.
I couldn't imagine.
Most definitely.
Yeah. But a lot of people were saying that is God's protection. And I ain't gonna lie, I felt like that was God's protection. That's not wishing ill or anybody losing their job. Obviously, that's not what we're saying. But that could have been us in that seat.
Oh, yeah.
I probably would have took a step back from my business a lot. You probably would have been taking a step back from the things that you got going on. Mm-hmm. So, I don't know. I just, like I said,
because you got to reset. You got to reset. Depending on where you or I would have played into that situation, you know, you got to make the necessary adjustments. You know what I'm saying? So I definitely look at it like God don't make mistakes. You know what I'm saying? And he looks out for us. He looks out for all his children. You know what I'm saying?
That's facts. Yeah. In a moment, you may not understand why. If you get told no, if you take a L, or if you feel like you lost something or you were rejected. But let me tell you something. Everything is working for your greater good. You may not understand it. You might cry. You feel like, Lord, why? You might question him. But just know at the end of the day, keep that faith strong because look at what has come about. You know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't start my own podcast. Now I can work under my own conditions, my own terms, as long as I want, as late as I want. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just grateful. Shout out to God for just keeping me covered. And thank y'all so much for supporting me and y'all kind words. Because let's just be clear. When you lose something, people forget about you. Like, so many people were rooting for me during the contest, right? But then after I lost, nobody checked. It was only my people checking in, like, how you doing? How you feeling?
Two is not a winner, and 3 nobody remembers.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I'm like, where are all the people at? Where all the love at? And so when the show got canceled, and to feel that love come back again,
correct,
that made me feel like, okay. Correct. Like, that was that blanket, that comfort that I felt like I needed, you know? Especially with them offering me my own show and not hearing anything back. That I needed a little blanket
and 104.1, man, I ain't mad at y'all about that because I would have loved and I would have listened to the 32 Flavor show. I would have done it most definitely. But
the people would have been tapped in for sure.
We all know we miss Doc Winters coming on at night, man. You know, and I told 32, you know, we need that R&B back at night, you know, and I ain't choose this voice. This voice chose me. You know what I'm saying? I probably could have did that R&B late night session. You know,
it would have been Gree.
I could have did it, man.
Coming on live, we about to play that Keith Sweat.
You know what I'm saying? I'd have been responsible for the next generation. You know?
Yeah, I feel
But
that.
hey,
and I would have brought positivity and my motivational and inspirational messages to the radio. I feel like people need that. Like, yeah, you can jam your music, but you need something to circle and bring it back in, because we all need that enlightenment. We all need somebody to keep us uplifted. The world is already rough and hard enough. You know what I'm saying? So hopefully you guys get some inspiration. Not hopefully, I know y'all gonna get some inspiration from my own platform.
Hey.
So what are some tips that you would give somebody who has experienced rejection and how to keep going?
I want you to know that delay is not denied.
Okay, talk about it.
That's the biggest thing. Delay is not denied, and that a lot of people don't know that when you walk, you actually are falling forward. You know what I'm saying? You falling forward, and the walking is a part of you gaining the balance within self. Yeah. So everybody continue to fall forward and gain balance within yourself. Yeah. And become a master of your equilibrium. Yeah. That's how I feel.
Yeah. One of my tips would be, or I got several, but one of them would be keep your head in the game. Because we got that far. Like, if God allowed us to be sitting in that seat, it wasn't supposed to just stop there. And that goes to any of the other finalists. Like, I know the rest of y'all are doing great things. Shout out to y'all, sending love to y'all. But it ain't over. Keep going. Keep pushing. Keep pursuing that dream. Because if I would have just stopped there when they told me no, like I keep saying, I would not be here. I wouldn't be still on the internet posting these motivational videos. I would have just had my head down like, man, I lost. Forget all of this. Let me just focus on my last business or whatever. So that's one. And number two, like you said, delay is not denied. And you don't know what God has in store for you. And nothing is a coincidence. Nothing happens for no reason. So stay the course, and keep pushing.
And I knew 32 was cool because I felt like I don't know how many of y'all really, really follow 32, but I felt like 32 went on like a vacation after the
I did.
Like I was looking at your Instagram, and it's crazy because I think I was at a Griffin game. And I looked at your Instagram, and I'm like, wait a minute. Is she in the Cubs clubhouse? Because I'm a Cubby. Yeah. Yes, St. Louis people, I'm a Cubby. Yeah. Yes, I know. Yeah. But I instantly jumped in her inbox and was like, 32, what's going on, man? You can't be going to the clubhouse. And then she was like, Greze, I be outside.
Yeah, I be outside. And I felt like this, too. I wasn't even going to go on that trip. Because I thought I was going to get the job. And I was like, I don't want to go on a trip and end up getting the job and I got to cancel the trip. So go on them trips. Okay, don't pause.
Go on the trips.
You got going on. Okay, because you never know. And yeah, I'm just grateful for the opportunity. What you feeling like?
Most definitely. I'm definitely, I was grateful for the opportunity. I have met some amazing people since then. I was going to a lot of the local high school football games after the competition, and there were so many people like running up to me in the parking lot, like, "You the dude from the radio competition," you know what I'm saying? And I'm like, "Hey, what's going on?" They like, "You sound just like you doing, Bert." You know, and it was a good feeling, man. Like I take pride in I like to call myself the bump pop man in the hood. You know what I'm saying? Like I take pride in like
Greze coming.
You know what I'm saying? Like I like that, and I mean anybody that doesn't feel that way and they shy away from it, it's because they're afraid to be a leader. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And I'm okay with that. Does it come with sacrifices? Yes, it does. But I just respect my father and my grandfather so much that I know what weight our name hold, you know, so I just try to keep it going, you know. So I loved it. I appreciate everybody that showed love. Yeah, I wouldn't have met you and everybody else, you know what I'm saying? So I appreciate it. And I ain't gonna lie, I felt kind of good being the only guy to make it. You know what I'm saying? I felt kind of good.
That definitely spoke to you. Very well spoken. That's another reason why I'm like, I definitely got to have him on the show. especially as a first guest. Because people, let's just be real, people don't be talking right. You be like, what? You sound crazy, okay? But, yeah, going back to what you were saying, I have been out so many times, y'all, and people be like, you 32 Flavors, and I be like, oh my God. Like, you know, you feel like a hood celebrity. It make you feel good when people stop you and they acknowledge you for your accomplishments. Even though we did not win, people felt like maybe we should have got it, you know what I'm saying? So
we did win.
We did win. In more ways than one. At the end of each podcast episode, I like to end it off with telling the audience something that you didn't know before that now you know. Obviously, the shows And Now I Know, right? So, I will go first just to give you an example. One thing that I knew or thought I knew going in is that this was my job and I was going to win. And I thought that if I put my all into it, shoot, it would have just came into fruition. But now I know that it's all about God's timing, and what's meant for you, you always gonna have it, no matter what.
Now, how I'm supposed to come behind that?
Okay, make it good.
So, what I didn't know is I didn't know how impactful I could have been. I didn't know. And I didn't think that the city would embrace me the way that they did. And now that I know, I know that what I'm doing, it does have great purpose. I know that it's working, and I know that it's a work in progress. Okay. You know what I'm saying? But we doing what we got to do. Yeah. You know, like I say, yeah, God don't make no mistakes, man. You feel me?
Well, y'all, this was an amazing first guest episode. Shout out to Greze for stopping by. What are your socials so they can follow you?
Man, you know, Greze King Kong, I always tell you, say it with your chest. And if you can't remember that, man, I'm certified and verified. You can go on Google and just type GREZEN, and you're going to see these goals and these dimples pull up, all right?
Yeah. Shout out to Greze, y'all. I am so happy that we got to do this, y'all. It's been a long time coming. I was debating on doing it, but I'm like, no, we gotta tell our truth. We gotta speak our mind about this thing. So thank y'all for tuning in to another episode of And Now I Know, and I will see y'all next time.